Are you tired of making 2-3 minute long beats? All you want to do is 10-minute ambient tracks and have like 4-hour albums? Today, we'll be making an Aphex Twin styled beat. I'm going to show you a beat I made that kind of resembles Aphex Twin. It's come to my attention that I've seen some of y'all have commented that they want an Aphex Twin tutorial, and if you're in this video, welcome. My name is Ken, or Broken English, whichever one you call me. Thank you very much for stopping by. For those who don't know who Aphex Twin is, his name is Richard David James, Aphex Twin. I don't know if he still makes music or not, but the last thing he dropped was Cyro back in 2014. Selected Ambient Works, Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. Yeah, I care because you do Richard D. James album, Drookis. You know, let's get right into it. So, I've never actually tried to make an Aphex Twin beat. So, I decided to, ask my friend who is the level 99 Virgin Ambient music maker, Mr. Jianshan Wong, or Kin-san, whoever you know. Let's ask him a few questions to see what he has to say. Hello?
Yo.
Okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know, this guy here is, his name is Jianshan Wong, or Wong Kin-san. What are your, top 3 tips, when you want to make ambient music?
Don't overcomplicate.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so are you also in agreement with having 4-hour albums?
Man, I don't know. You know, people don't really listen to ambient music for critical listening. Ambient albums hit harder when you're not in the sound mind.
Your tips are simplicity and so how about the drums? I'm gonna go the drums route.
About that, it's also really dependent on or the song.
Okay.
You're basing the drum.
Okay. Alright, so after taking Jianshan's lessons, I didn't listen to everything he says, obviously, because he's a shit producer. Anyway, looking around for, Aphex Twin tutorials, and I came across this video called the probability video. I thought it would make more sense because a lot of Aphex Twin's music have really weird, glitchy, drums, and they're never really the same. And immediately when I thought that, I was like, there's no way he draws everything, right? I don't know. Richard, do you draw everything? I don't think so, right? You can tell me I'm wrong. Let's get straight right into it. So, we'll start with, I think we'll start with the drums because that's more interesting, right? And this is what my drums sound like. Alright, so what the fuck is going on, Ken? What is going on? Alright, so I'm using probability rags. Essentially what this rag does is that it takes the velocity as probability. To start with, Aphex Twin uses a lot of TR-808 drum samples in his music. I have quite a lot of drum samples. This is just the kick. So, as you see, right, every time I click on this, it's actually changing the sample it's using. If you go up here, you see that thing just glitching around. That's the probability selecting which drum sound to use. So this is the snare, and it's doing the same thing. So we're using velocity as a probability, and if we just solo the kick, you could hear that it just goes. It's playing different things each time. So is the hi-hat, which is also doing the same thing. So as you can see here, the hat is actually playing a completely different hat each time. So it's not playing the same thing, which increases the randomness, which makes the thing just sound like what the hell's going on. So that's the glitchiness, right? I have the same thing doing to the tom. So it's also picking a different tom each time, even though it's playing. I only have one note, and you can increase it by changing this. And then I have this weird random So what I did was I chucked cowbells on it, perks, rims, so it's everything, and then put it around the head and a fracture on it just to create an even more just glitchiness. Then I have some elements in the drums that I are not going around too crazily, just so that the listener has a bit of something to ground on, just like this shaker. Yeah, so that at least there's something to ground on. The whole thing is almost randomized, except I still like drew in where I wanted it to hit. It's just every time it hits, it changes the sound. So that's the whole drums. I'm not gonna lie, there's actually no rules for his drums. I mean, that's how I thought. When I was making this beat, I was kind of like, oh, let me just chuck a bunch of shit on. And a lot of his music, you have to really experiment and just kind of like sit down until you kind of find something you like. Okay, so we have this wavetable. It sounds like this. So the reason why that's not following the notes is because of halftime on. Originally, it sounds like this. So what Aphex Twin does a lot in his synths especially is that you kind of still feel like it's almost like a chordish, because what he does is that he raises the second oscillator by like 7 semitones. So 7 semitones is a perfect fifth. I mean, yeah, it sounds in harmony with the one note you play. So I got that. That's literally really the sound. EQ'd a chorus. I put it up very warm just to like make it more analog sounding as Veb, and I got this High School Crush preset, not preset, but this MFL Max for Live, and then I have this Echo Boy that should be doing more. But yeah, the next sound sounds like this. Yeah, so it's just 2 sine waves that I give a lot of attack to. Chucked up the chorus a bit, and then I just LFO'd it a little bit. And then I have the chorus ensemble. Again, I put it out very warm. And then Valhalla Room and Valhalla Supermassive. So without those two, it sounds less ambient. And you want to use a lot of reverb and delay in your Aphex Twin beats because he loves his ambientness. And then essentially these are all just kind of like analog 5 presets. So the first one is a harp. So I don't know if you noticed, but I tried to do a lot of call response in between each melodies. The first ambient like melody and the second ambient melody is like, it's almost like it's talking to each other. So yeah, it gives a very nice like feeling to that. So the next thing I have is this Violin preset, also another analog 5 thing. It's called the Celtic Village. Yeah, it just acts almost like just a background thing, just to make it even more, give it even more texture. It's a very simple bass, to be honest. So I think you can really find this sound anywhere. And then I have this bass Arp thing, which is like a really weird like. Okay, anyway, the last sound in this song is this bass Arp thing, which is a bunch of basses from the TR-808. I think it's from this particular sample pack. If I open the zone, it's all there. So how you get all these sounds there is like this. Just in case you want to know, this is a sampler, you take the sampler, and then you just copy all of it and just drag it in here like this. Drag it all in. So you got all these sounds in the sampler zone, right? What you do is that you go to the velocity tab. So this is key, velocity, and I don't know what this is. Selection, I'm assuming. You go over this, you select it all. So like Command A, right click, and distribute ranges equally. So that's how you get the thing just picking different notes. There we go. And yeah, those are pretty much the sounds I use for this beat. Yeah, comment down below. What do you guys think? Did I make a successful Aphex Twin beat and learn a thing or two from me? If you watched this far, you clearly like me, so I appreciate it if you just like scroll down, like and subscribe. It really helps me, and I appreciate you for doing that. And you know, you get content from me every week. I upload twice a week, and the beat will play right after this. And peace. actually, it also occurred to me that I've been pronouncing Aphex Twin's name wrong the entire time. I'm sorry, Richard.